Alright, hello, this is Jake Light, Gaming Lawyer, so at your service. We're back with another investigations. I think this might not be the last session because I just saw that there's a few more parts. If I did this one whole chunk session in one chunk, it's gonna take way longer than usual. Unless I'm really good at deducing and really quick at voice acting, but no, I don't think I want to rush this. But yeah, that's probably one more session. Sag, you want to finish this soon? What? Damn. If I finish sooner, it means that you know, there's gonna be less Ace Attorney afterwards, you know. Anyways, last time I think we finally figured out who the killer is. I think now we're gonna be doing that, finding out if how do we suss out the person and all that. Still a lot more content left. Sooner or later it's just gonna get we're gonna finish everything. Ace Attorney will be no more. March 14th, 11:33 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. Oh no. Have to voice act all of them? Oh shit. Agent Lang. Langzi says, little cops never thought they know the real fury of the elder wolves. These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. What does that mean? It means that you never really know how angry I can get. Mr. Prosecutor, the counterfeit bills made with Barbalis ink, they were all of Zhengfa denominations. Yes, so I heard from Miss Von Karma. But we don't know where the play money has gone. We must not have figured out that it was all burnt yet. I can almost say this supposed to exist. Ever since those things show up in the circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zhengfa is in a financial chaos as we speak, because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But it's not just the money, the citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this, and have come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zhengfa. I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. Tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first, and now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, Don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight. Oh no. It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. My message still doesn't show up in the street. What? That's very interesting. It is only yours. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Curse you fool! Curse your empty brain! Heh, you're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Shna, let's go. Time to return to our den. Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but to go home as well. Agent Lang! Yo, Wolfman, the secretary lady. Hold it! Objection! Pal. Okay. Detective Gumshoe, we got the results of the handwriting analysis already. Yup. No, was definitely written by Mr. Coulter, sir. Just as I thought. Good work, detective. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for? Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Shina, I'd like to ask you something, if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Kojin was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. What do you think? What are you doing asking her about something she didn't say? Agent Lang hasn't touched the Babao investigation at all. I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth? I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours. The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end. Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day? Yes, she will be doing that. You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. Entire life. Ha! I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocence. So let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babao and establish exactly who it was that Case saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Case's testimony? You mean a suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu. Pretended? And what do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to reveal what Case mystery person did. Okay, if you could please explain for us what the person you were chasing did. Okay, you got it. I first spotted a suspicious person near the open air stage on the Babali side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase. For the sake of the argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor. Can do. Okay. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babalis embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until a sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned to the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Kojin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then... Ah! Okay. Who's there? By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared. When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? A person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness. Sorry, but I know for a fact that the person didn't escape through that door. Oh, and how do you know that with such certainty? That's easy. If the other guys had left through the door, they would have run into this person. I think it was Coleus Paleno. I think it was Coleus Paleno. Should be right. Oh wait. Oh no. I'm dumb. it's supposed to be Shina.
Take that!
Your answer is Shina? Yes, because let's consider what would happen if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kei screamed upon discovering Mr. Kochin's body, the Yatagarasu would have run into Agent Shina, who was in the next room over. Agent Shina, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question? No matter who, law, because it wouldn't matter which way she left. Yes, of course. No, I didn't see anyone. You see, therefore the Yatagarasu... It just means a creep slipped out before Shina made it out into the hallway. I doubt that, as there was another person in the hallway. A certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time? Me, sir? Well, I heard Kay scream. I ran towards Mr. Coach's office from the opposite direction of Agent Shina, sir. Oh yeah, so there is Gumshoe. So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route. No! Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened. Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken. Ha 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 ha! I get it. So that's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out. Precisely. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace for explanation, right? No, not quite yet. Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time. The revolving wall on the Barbalista side is known only to 4 people, and if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end. What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics? Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off. That smart haughty attitude of yours. You really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. I figured you already figured you out already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's long window. Since an eerie picture of the escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape? I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first, I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. The photo, yeah, forgot about the photo. However, I now know that to be impossible. Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly. Of course I know that. It's bloody common sense. Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be off the Yatagarasu's escape route. I suppose not. Alright then. Explain yourself. The Phoenix will say otherwise. Phoenix will bullshit, I guess. The shadow in this photo is not Yatagarasu that Kei was chasing after. You can say whatever you like in whatever language you want. But there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence. Very well then. I present to you proof that the person K saw is not the same as the one in this photo. Proof that the person K saw is not the same as the one in this photo. I feel like it's the Barbeless statue thing. Person K saw is not the same person as one in this photo. But is there like a proof of that directly about it? This is between the 4th and 5th floor, right? So, okay, that's what the text says. And then what happened? Kuchen's office is at the 3rd floor, right? So it means that this can't be the person, or if it was a person, it can't be it because of the difference in floors, right? Yes. Apparently it is this one. Or the fire one, apparently.
Take that!
I thought he was gonna say Chinese. Okay. Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kei saw. Kei spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire. No! Yeah, way to go. That's twice you've bit him in the butt now. It's the time, yeah, there were 2 fires. We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. Ha! As I thought. However, the Yatagarasu escape route? Now, that I can answer. You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on, enlighten me.
Hold it!
Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up to the Albastion investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Barbeless side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Shina, explained in my stead? Ugh, Shina is my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss? It's alright. I can take care of him. Shina, you've shielded me a lot as my boss. But it's time for me to prove my worth. Alright, if you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's just down to just Agent Shina and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside that Barbeless embassy? Chong! Shina's movements. During the first Barbeless fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babao. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person running into Mr. Kuchen's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation? No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct? Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't when Agent Shina tried to arrest Kei on the same rationale. And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Hitting where it hurts, being a hypocrite. Not that it's unexpected for a useless lump to get into such a situation. Although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. You should apologize right now for making Kate out to be the killer, pal. I'm sorry. Shina, apologize. I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Miss Edgeworth? Well, I never doubted you. Not for 1 second. And the same goes for me. I believe in Shna. Then let's put that to the test and see if she really is worthy of your trust. This promises to be interesting. Last moment, rebuttal. Okay, she talked a lot. Boy, sister putting out a fire. During a second fire, I was searching for the attackers that had appeared in Babal. I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the room next door. Next room over.
Hold it!
I probably should press and all that stuff. By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the 3rd floor of Babal, correct? Yes, that was when a suspicious person was spotted in Babal. And you were after the same person in the long coat that was after. There's no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face. By the way, how was your team's investigation? In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the 3rd floor via the windows. So the majority of investigators conducted their searches on the other floors. Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the 3rd floor. When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the 3rd floor. And you did that alone. Yes.
Hold it!
What about this one? So you were in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office. I already told you I was earlier, as I was examining the neighboring room. I heard that the girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cochin's office, wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall. Yes, I did. She was totally innocent, pal. I thought we had already cleared that up. And I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet. Ooh. I have to agree. Right now is not the time to take issue with that. Not you too, Mr. Ashworth. What I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagarasu, Agent Shina. The prosecutors of this country are also strange. Let me see. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch the glimpse of it. Okay. You were unable to catch even a glimpse despite being in the next room. Is that true? I really hate to repeat myself. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We won't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Are you calling Shina's testimony a lie? Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Shina right now. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments. Okay. Oh, you know, I feel kind of bad for him. I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth. Lang, I'm alright. As for you, I think you should be focusing on your doubts on that girl rather than me. And why is that? Okay, gonna press this. Are you throwing Kei's words into doubt again? Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down Yatagarasu despite being just an average citizen. Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing a fake Yatagarasu. That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu. And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere? Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough. I see. Kei's testimony is without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony a bit suspicious. There seems to be a very large flaw in her testimony. Oh, then why don't you show her using what we found with the little thief? Yeah, I will, in due time. The skip route of the Yatagarasu that Kei was in pursuit of. If it turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Shna, what is that she is keeping from us right now? Alright. This and the second statement are fine. I think. Maybe I'll just press this one. I don't know. Wait. It could be just already. I can just like present as evidence to one of the statements, but who knows. By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the third floor of Babal, correct? Yes, that was when a suspicious person was spotted in Babal. Wait, isn't this the same thing? I already pressed this. Oh man. Okay. Right, so pretty much did all this. I was searching a husk room coming from the next room. Although I was able to capture Kei. So I guess it's this statement. And I have to present the revolving fireplace wall there now, right?
Objection!
Yep. Being in the room next to Mr. Koshin's office is the problem with your testimony. Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all. Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Al Bastion office fireplace? Huh? Oh, you mean how it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it? Well, Albas isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces. What? The fireplace in Mr. Kochin's office holds the exact same secret. What? The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Okay. Now, do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run next straight into Agent Shna. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu. Yeah! What is the meaning of this, Miles? Well, would you care to explain, Agent Shna? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Or shall I? Your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one who Kei saw in the coat. Pretending to be the Yatagarasu, you were the one who she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Kochin's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Shna. After that, you came back around the place, Kei under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace. How dare you hold... Oh no, man. How do I do Gumshoe's voice? How dare you make Kei look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal? Oh no. A true self is emerging. Shna? Only one person who laughs like that. That laugh. Same exact drawing as well. I remember this irritating laugh. I'm getting chewed on by spine. It can't be, but it has to be. Shana, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry. It was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh. Funny, you say? Yes, that you would accuse me of being a Yatakarasu. The prosecutors of this country really are also very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's the prosecutors who is. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatakarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding Yatakara's escape route. The tone of your voice you're taking with me now has certainly changed. That's because it's been a while since I have this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and we can have a real battle of wits. For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it is a great honor. Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know. I know, and it is why I won't hold anything back, either as I answer your question. My question? Here is your proof that a revolving fireplace wall in Baba was used recently. I think it's this one again. A sign that a revolving fireplace wall has been used. I mean, this is literally what it says, so yeah.
Take that!
I'm sorry, but this video on. Oh no. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay, this is correct. Yes. According to Ambassador Paulino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Kochan. Oh. The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there. Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up. Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Paulino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatakarasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Kochan's office is my proof. Damn. You'll be funny if I pursue any time. And just what is so funny. Ash as proof. Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course. Why would I? In that case, let's hear your counter-argument. My counter-argument, huh? This really is just like being in court. Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago. I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't matter if we're at a crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here and now. I suppose. I had a lot of fun today, but I grew wary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Knife rebuttal. In my eyes, all you proved is that the rotating fireplace was used. But you can't really call that proof of that the Yatakarasu used the fireplace. Now, can you? So then, who is it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Kochan's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument. Ugh. That's very impressive. She had seen through the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence. Or is it okay? I haven't heard all of you in quite a while now. If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But Okay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagarasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. The chase you are running to catch the truth. You must see it through to the very end. Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth. With pleasure. Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it? Shna, please. Show me you're someone I can trust. Don't worry. This will be the deciding match. You'll see. I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sna. Shall we begin? I'm ready whenever you are. You can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu shoot a projectile, can you? But that war said use the routine. Show me your answer with real evidence. I don't have the evidence. Nothing like that. No cloth, no nothing. We can't even, yeah. I feel like the last statement is the thing that I have to do. Oh, not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Kochan's office. The only thing that's suspicious is this wire. It was found in the Babal's grandfather clock that they noticed, right? But that's the thing I would say, yeah. Was this right, the one? Yeah, apparently yes, it is,
Objection!
Oh, I'm smart. While you say that you and your agents have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything? Well, aren't we full of ourselves, standing there insulting Interpol agents? You better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, that's what we're insinuating. I'd never do that. Not out loud, of course. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire. And what exactly is this supposed to mean? A length of wire? So what about it? I'll tell you what. We found this in the Babalist embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Kochan's office. We found that at the scene after Mr. Kochan's murder? But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing. There's more? In Mr. Kochan's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. Oh yeah, it's either that evidence or the counterfeit bills, I guess. What in the... Aya! Hold it. That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? That's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills? No. You see? So there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence anyway. I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression. How so? I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort, but rather I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu. You still suspect me, I see. Alright then, I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete. The other Interpol agents work under the command of Agent Shina. And is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the 3rd floor was because the person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Shina was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there's one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location. Here. Location, Agent Shina, is of course the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Kojin's office warrants a thorough inspection. Even if you do that, I doubt you find anything of use to you there. I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out the room next to the office. Okay, I thought we would have to like explore a new room. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you really think that Mrs. Shina's the Yatagarasu? Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is. And I'm not going to let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question. If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to. And just what are you hoping he'll find? Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier. An experiment? As if that detective has the brains for high science. It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had me use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu. And what did you find out by doing that? First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and bubbleless ink. Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway. Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, without the value of which I'm about to prove. Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to say, sir. Damn, the Gumshoe could find stuff that the criminal mastermind was hiding it well? You have to give more credit to Gumshoe if that's the case. Or the criminal mastermind is really clumsy, careless. So what are these things that you found? Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir. You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing. Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Shina, well, this piece of evidence is not in that room when you examined it. Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. We're getting in their way, so I stored them in that room. Oh. Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now? These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them. They are my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission. I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation, but if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this. I say, let them look at your stuff, Shina. Lang? Shina, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. Alright, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide. Good. Now let us begin. So which of Agent Shina's belongings are you going to examine? Oh, sorry. So which of Agent Shina's belongings are going to examine, sir? I would say her shoes. Let's examine her shoes. There doesn't appear to be anything particularly odd about them. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you know what they say about men who stare at women's shoes for too long, right? Ha, how scandalous. I'm merely doing my job, Agent Lang. I don't see how that warranted a comment. Now then, there is some dirt on the soles, but otherwise they seem perfectly normal. I guess there really wasn't anything suspicious about Agent Star's shoes. I suppose not. Let's move on and examine something else. What about her makeup? I believe I'll examine her makeup. What is this? It looks like a very thin paintbrush. It's a lip brush. It's for putting on my lipstick. I found something with a lot of weird powder inside, sir. It's just a foundation powder in there. It's nothing to get fucked up over. Wow, you two sure know a lot about makeup. I think I need to confiscate them for a bit. Ooh, I never knew makeup consisted of this stuff. Ooh. I see. Ooh. She seems to be completely absorbed in the study of cosmetics. I guess there was anything suspicious in Agent Shida's makeup. I suppose not. Let us move on and examine something else. Well, it's most... the coat is the most suspicious one, so that's why I didn't click on it. Let's examine the coat. Yes, sir. It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly, Agent Shina. The young Takarasu that case saw was wearing a coat. I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace. No, you have it wrong. That suit probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire. And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat? Oh, I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. Are we playing the big bad wolf, from the Little Red Riding Hood? I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie? Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. It's the same pattern of the dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace. Well, words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, So unless you can prove the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace, which I can. How? You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe. Me, sir? What did I do? This coat. This is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find a coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. Thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat. I don't care quite what you're saying, but I'm happy to report praise, sir. All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance on the coat hem is. Oh, and you think you can do that? Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of this coat. The perfume.
Take that!
A bubbleless ink? Yes. This is what will prove the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Paolino, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning. He told us all about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again. My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be bubbleless ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall. Back! Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet. We have no way of proving whether or not this is bubbleless ink on that coat, Ham. Are you personally being dumb, Shina? Even without the special properties of bubbleless ink, I'm sure the chemical composition will indicate it is the same thing. Anyways, oh, but I do, and I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds. How? How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I will prove that the dark substance on the coat is bubbleless ink. The coat? Where the coat? We can find out whether that is bubbleless ink or not by lighting it on fire. Yeah, that's how you're going to prove that it's bubbleless ink? Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark stain area for me, I appreciate it. Because I will show you, here and now, what the dark substance is. Shina, Sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a bit of your coat. Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway. Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something. Oh, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light some smoke bombs. Then, if I could please have one, okay? We can get this experiment underway. No, there's animation for it. A flame! It's the same color as the flame's white crystal oil producers, which means... Marvelous ink is a product of white crystal oil. When lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing. Mishina, you're the fake Yatagarasu. The one who killed my father. It's about time you came clean, Agent Shina. Or should I say, Callisto you. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. You're not serious, are you? Do I look like the joking type to you? Haha. Callisto you. I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years. You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and then tried to frame me for it. Oh really? And you have proof? You insist I am this Callisto you woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me. The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and will reveal your true, ugly form to the world. Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you? I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years. Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth. I will, Kay. For we have finally come to the end. We'll prove her to be Callisto you with this clip, and clip this Yatagara's wings for good. This one? Right? That's the only very most obvious thing that I can think of. Don't waste my time with garbage. Now go throw it out in the trash can in the hallway. Oh no, wrong! This never happened. Mr. Hatchworth, that piece of evidence I saved all those years, for all these years. I think you can prove that Mr. Mishina is really Callisto you if you use. Oh yeah, I'm dumb. Yes, you're right. It's time we've brought this case from 7 years ago to a close. Okay. It's this one. The perfume, yes, the perfume. This perfume, this will prove you to be Callisto you. It will? Yang has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle. This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on his. Okay. I was thinking, what exactly is this bottle supposed to prove? Okay, fingerprints. Ah, totally. For sure. There is a bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I mean, there can be so many more obvious things to, like, I don't know, prove she is the same person, like, I don't know, DNA. Very concrete proof rather than just like a fingerprint. I heard from my father, Bernard Faraday. If stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Is it really though? I don't know. Which means that your fingerprints are still on here, every last one. I feel like they are just bullshitting her. We can clear everything up if we are to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Shina, you submit yourself to a fingerprint test. Oh my god. My wife just looked at me weird. Oh no. The things I do for content. Anyways. It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. Ha. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth. Just lost it. Callisto, you. So, you've shown your true face at last. This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than that time 7 years ago. Shna, you're... Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man. So, you are a spy all along. A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who has been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time? Very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Callisto, you, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right. Callisto, you. That's just one of my many names. But even then, it's just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief Yatagarasu. Callisto, you. This time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly. You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was. Kay, don't. You... I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father. You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possess such laughable honesty. Oh no! Kay! Oh! You let Kay go right now, pal! You despicable! Let go of me, you filthy... Ah! You think I'm fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible. My father was the one who created the Little Thief. Hey, Edgeworth. The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is? Why it has 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be. Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu? The real identity of the Yatagarasu is... neither person. The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Byrne Faraday nor Callisto Yu. By the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu. Haha, how very perceptive of you. No way! A single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed. Mr. Edgeworth! No, I refuse to believe this. The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. An alloy would have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. Oh wait, who's talking? It's bad! Bad is also the Yatagarasu! Okay. I didn't know, or probably forgot. So it should be At skill number 3, Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. Detective Bat! It's only natural for Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind. Because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. You're the third member of Yatagarasu? You. I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years. But if I finally got you. Aha! Why, Mr. Bad. Long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why indeed? It was nothing personal really. It was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grew weary of this. It's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss. Stop! You! Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I don't know, man. It's over, Shina. Your leg! It's your lung! Okay. You idiot, what were you thinking, jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bat, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her, not even from you. You really are an idiot, you know that? Ha, it's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis. Yes? I want you to conduct a full body search. Shina might have another weapon on her. Alright. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please. Sir. Yeah, Agent Lang's not bad at all. I couldn't really say like I can compare to anyone else that is like hasn't killed any other police officer that hasn't killed anyone. Every other like detective or something has been like kind of sus. Is like is involved is a murderer. So there's not a lot to go around with except for Gumshoe, you know. Anyhow, hey, I found something. 100,000%. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, yeah, other than Gumshoe. What is this thing, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife. It doesn't have a handle. This is a great find, detective. Oh, is it, sir? Emma. Oh yeah, I guess Emma will also be a detective. That's not bad. Let's try playing up this blade with this handle.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon. Hey, they fit together perfectly. This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched. I'm going to go return this barbarous knife now. Alright. I trust that you'll make sure that it is returned to Ambassador Paleno. Barbarous knife handle given to Detective Gumshoe. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callisto Yu. For the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochin's murder. Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer. You killed Mr. Cochin with the Alabastian knife. Switched the handles and took the original blade of the barbarous knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kane near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Let's that about sum it up.
Objection!
Aha! You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth. But there are two problems with it. Problems? In what respect? What do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was also I could capture Cave Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gate Waterland, I knew right away that you were Bern Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of that Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Kojin's murder on me. Yes, and I knew you would show up at his embassy tonight. So I thought to use you. But pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You're going to take Little Thief away from me. 7 years ago, it was thanks to the device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I thought I had a tough time recovering that precious key. Then, the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday. You, that incident 7 years ago, what was the catalyst behind it? In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment. And why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu? Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean? The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day. Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Kojin? The real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings. Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, I'm bleeding over here. Remember, I got shot. Anyhow, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Shina? I guess I should tell you, then. That was the one who set the Bible's embassy on fire. Why did you do that? I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was the smuggling ring was trying. What was the smuggling trying to do? Then why start 2 fires? Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation, after all. I've had my fun. It's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait, I mean, Miss Shina. Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, this fell at my feet. What about them? It's such a pretty hastings that I thought, well, I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. Almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight. What? I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will. It's the prosecutor. Yes, Agent Lang? Mark my words. I'm not done here, and I'll be back. It's got nothing to do with a duty or anything, because this has not become my personal case. I may have been shot. Also, it very hurts a lot. But I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be. His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg. Is it? He's walking, he's limping though. Oh man. Good time to hope he gets infected. It's finally over, okay? Well, not really, man. I feel like I've been peering into her heart a little, you know? It's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands, One more final boss to defeat. One who thought my father was a problem to be removed. That person is a real ringleader behind the smuggling ring. Mr. Ashworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to this hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jammy Ninja show. Yes, totally won't be evidence later on, right? But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome. I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. Chekhov's gun's name is Matador. There is a bit of soil stuck on the ends of the sticks. Ba-bum! I wonder where I've seen that before. Well, it can't be somewhere in this place itself, right? Let me do this. Hey, take a look. She just said, like, I don't want to look at it. Now we're looking at it together with her. Hey, take a look at this, Mr. Ashworth. There's a dirt on them. It's totally ruining the beauty of the hair stick. I suppose. Why is that dirt stuck on the end of hair stick in the first place? She just want to look at it alone. It totally doesn't look like this thing here at all. This tiny picture, you know, with also sticks stuck on dirt. Can't be the same thing at all, right? Oh, I guess it's time already, huh? So it's midnight, the dawn of another day. Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You really done a lot for everyone all these years. Detective Bad, don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire, and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. Not quite, bruh. That's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. Wait, how old is Bat now? Don't know if there's an age. Probably there is. 60 years old. Yeah, he's pretty old. Oh, his profile also updated. Okay, it says Eagle-Eyed Homicide Detective. He was a member of the three-person group, the Yatagarasu. The ringleader of the smuggling ring. You, the Yatagarasu, were chasing after. The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. Very longer than 60, but his looks even age. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you. Is it really true, Uncle Bat? Are you also part of Yatagarasu? As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you. Uncle Bat. I guess technically there's no evidence to show the Detective Bat being committing any criminal offense, I guess, unless he confessed to them and like show evidence and stuff. But yeah, he can totally go off scot-free. Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right? There's at least a few witnesses here. I mean, it's just like how Kay Faraday is doing, you know. She claims herself to be Yatagarasu, but only saying it, but there's no proof, you know. Everyone can say they are who they are, but it doesn't mean it is who they are, you know. Anyhow, unfortunately, it isn't. Oh, come on, sir. She's just getting on my chain, isn't she, Mr. Ashworth? Detective Bad. Wait, no, you're no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu. Not you too, Mr. Ashworth. Mr. Ashworth, here, I should give this back to you. These are the pages from my KG8 case files that the Yatagarasu stole from my office. Bom bom bom! Oh, I mean, he admitted to this one, so he technically could be arrested for this then. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? It's over. Mr. Ashworth, about the apologize for that last night. It was him. So, the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it? Wait, that means... What? You tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir. It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG8 incident, it was a very emotionally trying case. Stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim of the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate. We call ourselves the Yatagarasu and flex our collective muscle, expose all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we're able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. Then, it's finally time. It finally arrived the moment when find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Faraday died for it. But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident? After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU, she never had a sister. What? That means... Shna was the only fake name she used. Callisto U was also another pseudonym. A pseudonym? Like a fake name? Is that how you... Okay. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by smuggling ring. She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file. Please use it wisely. Trump card? That photo we stuck on there. Try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence Faraday hid away all those years ago. It's a mark of the Yatagarasu, but why? This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Kochan had on him at the time of the KG8 incident 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, this CCU. But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu? Reason why we call ourselves the Yatagarasu is because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's boss used. Apparently orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order is supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. Apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze. So you mean the cards were written in barbless ink? The fact that the card that Cochin was sent made into Faraday's hands at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police. So that's what those white cards are. The great thief that used a mark that only those within the ring would know is our message to the ringleader. And we were only a few steps behind. Damn, this is a lot of exposition by the detective here. And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you. Okay. Oh. Oh man, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to give him his lollipop. Anyways. What is this, sir? You're not giving me the lollipop, right? This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence. But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it? The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Armado, and he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case. Ba-ba-bum. This video. Don't come any closer, I'm warning you! Oh no, I don't know how to do his voice, but oh well. This is the same video as the one Mr. Pottsman was trying to conceal from me. Yeah, it was seen that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. It's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence. Then, that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from ringleader to Mr. Pottsman. The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them. The evidence Mr. Pottsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is. Whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who is above the law. Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad. There is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them. Still insist that, even now, you really are something else. I'll leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu. Pops! Don't ever lose your detective spirit. Pops, why is this happening? This isn't justice. Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now, let's go. Yes, sir. Damn, so much talking at the end of this part. Is this really the end of a legend? To be continued! Oh, damn, it was a lot of talking. Also, yeah, trying to do Bat's voice just destroys my throat. Because I have to go really deep. If not, you know, it wouldn't match his face. Anyhow, oh boy. It was rather easy to take down Callisto U or slash Sheena. I thought there would be more about her. Anyways. Damn, they have been around here they're still here after midnight. March 15, 12:07 AM, Theatrum Neutralis lobby. I would have, I don't know, eaten something, had a snack or whatever. You know, take a break, but they have been going on it without taking any break. No rest. Basically left evidence. So now we know who the Yatagasu really was. And yet there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Like how the weapons cross country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Well, one thing you don't have, you know, in all, apparently, most places in Ace Attorney, is freaking security cameras. This is always so a cop-out, but you know, if there are security cameras, every case has to be, I guess, molded or like created based on having security cameras, which probably can be annoying, I guess. To make it not very creative, to make a puzzle, a mystery, and all that. Short of a miracle, it's impossible to have someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We will need to open a new line of investigation with just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Necessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Has it been? I don't know what was removed, but oh well. There's still quite a bit. We have 3 pages of evidence. KG8 incident. Blood! This blood belongs to Detective Faith, who was killed in my office by Mr. Portsman. Sadly, it would appear that he was partnered with anyone but a good prosecutor. Oh, okay. Okay. Trump card. Or cutting orders from cross of smuggling ring to Cochin. That's the only extra things, I guess. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. How convenient. Now, can we see what's on the tape Detective Bat gave us? This piece of evidence from the KG8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. It's Manny Cochin. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. Well, somehow there is security footage, but it's placed in a very weird place, okay? Again, on like a table or something. An apartment building, how do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG8 incident. The crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of evidence of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yes, somehow, someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Armano. You can see how this would have been a definitive piece. Why someone would want to hide it. It's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. Ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsmouth to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader. Where? Wait, what was that? Oh? The beat you played just now. Please show it to me again. No. This car. This is something we cannot overlook. Oh, why is that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe. The flag, I guess.
Take that!
This is the national flag of the Principality of Codopia. And because it has a national flag on it, we know this to be an official government car. The question we should be asking ourselves is, what was the government car doing there? So, why is the criminal mastermind is really dumb? Anyways. Mr. Korkama and Mr. Ashworth, so you were here all this time? Ambassador Alba. Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of the night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I'm truly sorry. This wasn't your fault, sir. This has had nothing to do with how careful you were. You idiot, Quiricus! You could chase after a simple thief. Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put that investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Excuse me? I heard you apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel. Yeah, but we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. Why don't we leave the rest of the Albastion and Bubbly's police? Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little more and... This for karma. I'm afraid I made up my mind. Without my permission, it can't proceed without investigation. Anyway, right? That's true, however, as he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be our bastion's soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. This is really where our investigation ends. Cheerful! We found Mr. Ashworth, sir! Cheerful, this way! Oh, okay. We haven't really gone anywhere. Agent Lang, we're back on scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case, no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but don't take this the wrong way. I don't suspect you personally. However, you are a member of Interpol, just found to be a thief, and so on. Under these circumstances, I wish you to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things for me. They're quite capable. At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do. Well, I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. You? You? No. Oh. Killer? Okay. Do you really mean that, Agent Long? Eh, wolves don't lie. Who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Colton's murder. That was all schna. Lang Zi says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the Master Second's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you, Franziska von Kammer. Okay. I was the killer? Okay. Hey, wait. That's impossible. Yeah. Although that weight is actually quite. Yeah. Hold your tongue and that ludicrous remark you were about to make. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. He doesn't appear to be joking. Hey sis, I remember that you just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech. He called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you move around rather freely between Albas and Babal, did you not?
Objection!
And where is your evidence that I'm a killer? I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? If they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good, then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. As if I would have any reason to flee. Just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seems rather upset, not that I blame her. Ha 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 ha. I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that. Agent Lang, someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part, and so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery. Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Albas yet. If you let KE, you gotta let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma's in trouble. Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay? Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and ready to go. As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Ha 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 ha. Sounds like this is going to get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. Very well, I guess. I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go. I feel like it's an obvious trick or something, or by Lang, so that we can continue investigating. Okay, now let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Colchan's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. A weapon that took his life was one of Balbear's ornamental knives. And then the body of the masked second, Mr. Kashnor, was now found here in the Owl Bastion ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this Primitux statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it, says if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off. Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying? Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were the one on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so while people were distracted by the Yatagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire. Even if all that were true, how do you explain the involvement of the weapons? Don't worry, I plan to show you you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across country. Hey now, okay, damn. Look, sis, I thought I already told you. I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Shina certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He's right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. Alright, Lang might be the first person who counted her whip. First person to grab her whip, while not the first person to not get hurt. I think someone else avoided the attack, maybe? I don't remember who though. However, the connection between this case and the ring, could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine? Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Franziska, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Owl Bastion side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole, and therefore solve it. What? But don't worry, I'm taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence. That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let's now delve into the truth behind the murder of the Master II. You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against our Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of the Master II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will be the end of our investigation. As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. Did we actually even figure out who the Demas is? He was just a wannabe apparently. At least that's what nobody has argued his identity. We see his face. We already have his face. And his real name is Casino. His name is Casino. Literally. Yes. Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. Let's get started. Yes, let's. Oh, I thought we were going to do investigations. I guess we're jumping into another argument. Border crossing weapons. One of our best knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Colchan. And the murder weapon in the killing of the Master II is Babal's Primitux statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was Yo. So, as long as I can't explain how the weapons move about, Franziska will remain a suspect. You got it, Mr. Prosecutors. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss. Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. What are you talking about? By focusing too intently on what is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lang Zi never say anything to that effect. You prosecutor? Who do you think you are, speaking about Lang Zi's proverbs like that? I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you need to see the truth. Damn. I feel like only way to traverse the country to blah, 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 blah. I may press this, I don't know. It is either this or that, the other one. It's kind of obvious maybe how the weapons were transported between here and there. Impenetrable? I should hardly think so. You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? Who in the world could cross over that? Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with all that barbed wire. The only way into the either embassy is through the doors in the Theatrum Neutralis. Or the only way for the knife and the primitive statue to traverse the two countries is through the door security camera equipped well-guarded doors. Those first two is fine. What if I press this one as well?
Hold it!
Was Franziska really the only person to have traveled between the two countries? According to the guards at both doors, she is the only one to go back and forth. The sis there was in Albers when the Yatagarasu showed. And then just before you guys found Mr. Kochan's body, she entered Babal. I think we can assume that's when she brought the knife into Babal. Then how do you explain the primitive statue? I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traveled across the country lines. The only things to cross the border are the primitive statue and the knife. I should hardly think those are the only two items, Agent Lang. All Bear's knives was used in Rabal to murder Mr. Kochan. The other weapon is the killing of the masked Rabal primitives. I think this is the statement, but do I have like a thing? I know it's related to the wire and related to the hashtags, but this doesn't prove anything at all at this current stage. So would I have to prove that there is somehow another way for a person, quote unquote, a person to get through? I guess is this then, this picture, right? Let me see. I'll have to check this then, fortunately. Yeah, that's my only guess. This is what it is. Let me check. Okay, maybe I can make a mistake here now. It's fine. Let's do it. Okay, it's a mistake. Confidence is like a soul and words without blah 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 blah. I don't want to read this. This doesn't happen. Didn't happen. No, nothing of it. No. That's not canon. No. It was all a dream. Alright, let me see. Oh, it's the correct statement, but I don't understand why I have to present this.
Objection!
I don't understand. I'm too dumb. Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight. Oh? The Master Second was killed with Babal's Prima statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Albas's Prima statue go? Oh, Babal! Precisely. And the two statues really were switched. Okay, I guess I missed that. There was a switcheroo happening. And this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies. I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items. Only that the sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Albas and Babal is her. Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person. One who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang? Ha 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 ha. What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guard said, along with the security camera's footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily. I suppose there was some other way other than through the theater doors. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I pointed out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility. It looks like you've got some clever idea in mind. I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence. Shh, fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that you will show me this other route. Piece of evidence, the evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries is a wire? No, a picture, right? Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. Supernatural photo? Like I said before. Humans can't fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. And don't start claiming that Shna somehow grew wings either. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. And I won't allow you to take back what you've said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Ugh. But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Eureka! Very well, you will have your explanation. It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden with this photo's blurry trail shadow is... is this one.
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the primitive statue replica. You can't be serious! Yatagarasu, or rather, Callisto Yu dressed as Agent Shna, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in close and launched it through the air. Ah, Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit of your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? Ha! And how exactly did she do that? He's literally baring his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? Yes, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? So just before the murder, Francisca was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, In order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You say that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Ha! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I'm the killer. Now, first, don't tell me you suspect me too. I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time, which is why I would like to hear about it from you. Franziska, I feel that I still don't have enough information, which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright. So, what would you like me to talk about? I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room. Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl, "No!" As you wish. Romans and Albas. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Albastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Shamrock off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by the Ambassador Alba to his office. Siska, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Franziska about her testimony in more detail. Yeah, I don't see anything I can rebut that's wrong and all. So Soma was right towards the ambassador's office. Okay, we'll press this. So you were at the theater as well? Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching that stage show. Well, yes, so Franziska was there. Well, after the show was over and I saw the Steel Shamrock off. Okay, that was quick. I thought there would be more things there.
Hold it!
Why did you need to confirm the degree of preparation for even a speech? For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? No one knew just how the Yatagarasu had planned on getting in, right? Yes, I suppose you're right. And in the end, the Yatagarasu did choose to appear in the Rose Garden, even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. I would have thought that she would use a shadow. Calm down, Franziska. I'll still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself. Anyway, there was no one in the Rose Garden. And we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter.
Hold it!
More information on this? At that time, the Master Second's body had yet to be found in this room. Is that correct? That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you. Seriously? Okay, like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the firebox on the windowsill, watering his plants. I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. Alright then. Add that statement to your testimony, and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he? Press this more? I don't know. I don't have anything to fight against this thing. For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something more. How do you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at this windowsill? What do you mean by that? The entrance to this room is on this side, however. The window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that not correct? I suppose the verse a bit hard to see around you. Unfortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not a man immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me. With a watering can in his hand. It's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right? I suppose so. After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had to tame them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know? Yes, the plants in this room, they are like my children. The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom. Miss Von Karma, what did you say? What did you just say now? I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand? What do I not understand? I don't understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like you to append that statement to your testimony. Very well. Yes, finally found the thing. Which is kind of obvious what we're supposed to do here.
Objection!
Francisca, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. Ha! I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing, discrediting Miss Von Karma like this? Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Yike! All I've done is state what I saw. I've not made a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles? At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Ha! Let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear. We examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. My beloved flowers, I've grown them with the utmost care. I ask that you please be gentle with as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. I won't rest until I inspect every superficial looking granny. How about a can first? This watering can has a rather robust design. Mr. Edgeworth, why are you telling us stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Miss Von Karma's gonna get arrested. Better examine something else. Okay, we'll examine the dirt. This patch of soil looks as though it has had something removed from it. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here, waiting for an explanation, you know. Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? Tish. Looks like the two things were pulled out of this flower box. The name of these flowers, I believe they are called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. Can't vines have flowers? Are flowers a species? Is vine a species? I don't know, man. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plants' supports. Yeah! But no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you. Ugh, Miles Edwards, I haven't shut this man up for me already. I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in your face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a fool wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. Proof the passion flowers reveal can be seen as a piece of evidence. Shina, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flower. Heh, and so what? Is this really all that important to the case? Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Yeah. Think about it logically, Agent Lang. The sticks were originally in Albast, but somehow they wound up in Shina's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, the sticks were smuggled somehow, just like this knife and statue. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they would wound up in Babal. How did the support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it? So it is, but the shape of the support stick is what is important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. An object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is a crossbow. That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting? I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows. Okay. I've done it. I found a common thread that connects the two offices. This thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired the sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together. Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. Border crossing part 2. So Babal's statue was draped in the Yataga's clothes and then shot over here? Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they will go far with the statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that maybe the statues don't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? Is that statement really necessary at the end? The printed duck statues didn't sprout wings. Of course they didn't. I'm glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of the crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The primitive duck statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Explain this to the small wolf brain. Actually, I don't know. First, I mean, if any fires from silent will go far with statue tied to them. I mean, tell you that primitive statue didn't sprout wings.
Hold it!
I feel like I have to contradict something. We are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with a crossbow was not the statue themselves, but rather something a crossbow could launch that can be used to move the statues. So it's that statement. Oh yeah, they appended. They launched this instead. This wire.
Objection!
I'm right. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. I'm like that whilst playing Miles Edgeworth. I feel smarter, or compared to playing Phoenix Wright, I feel just dumb. I don't know why. Heh, I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the prize was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. That seems not weird, but the field, come on. All the way from the 5th floor of the Albastion Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Barbalis Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Albas, a Primarch statue, could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about Barbalis' Primarch statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Barbal, going the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Barbalis Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Albastion Embassy. How do you explain that? Aha! I think I finally see the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lung, motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's Primarch statue. Rotary, I believe. I believe it was done via rotary movement. The two statues were transported simultaneously. Oh, am I wrong? Oh no. Simultaneously get real, the statues will collide somewhere along the way. Did I ever say there was only one line of wire between the two offices? Yay, I'm not wrong. If you shot an arrow with the two ends of wire tied to it, a circular bat can be formed. Wang Zi says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires. Did they both get swapped? Yeah. The top one would sag too much to the point where the statue would collide anyway. Agent Lung. As you know, the Primarch statue is one of a kind national treasure. And the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would appear naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Wang Zi says, wow! Okay. Here is what I believe happened. Miss Yu and a mystery conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator breached the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down and one arrow, and the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babel, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu headed inside the grandfather clock, QED. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Grr! Okay, he got whipped! This proves it, right, Agent Lung? That I'm not a killer. Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. I agree that as long as there's no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no more mere hypothesis, but there is one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be interesting. Don't think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact. Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a well length of wire. I believe that it is right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. The fan?
Take that!
Ah, looks like you dropped another bomb on us again. The last piece of the trick are two pulleys. Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. Ah! Ow! Okay. I'm playing this game making all kinds of weird noises. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. Ha 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 ha. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured all out already, haven't you? You know who the big shot, hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Owl Bastion and Bubbly's offices, and the Passion Flower support stakes could be used as arrows. Real mastermind behind this case. Well, don't you dare make this fool wait for this food. Why are you so hesitant, Maletsworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of finger here and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. Piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is. I would say it's the crossbow arrows. I guess this is called crossbow arrows now. It would be, yeah, I have to do this, right?
Take that!
This smuggling could have not been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by this crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows were there when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I'm accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus it can only be you, Quercus Alba. Are you out of your mind, Miles Edwards? I'm certain of what I'm saying. I'm sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, prosecutor, What was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. I would say but has been swapped with a fake worm. Baba was used as a weapon. It's the Albus Prima Duck statue, right? I don't feel like there's anything else that would be it. Yeah, it's this one. Because the Ambassador Alba wanted to steal this. It was not the other way around.
Take that!
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real primitive statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primadux himself? I see. Ambassador will be examining the statue now, with or without your permission. Oh, handprint. These are Mr. Cochin's fingerprints. The fact that they are on here suggests that this statue once belonged to Babal. So it was smuggled from Babal to Albus, huh? Why was there a need for them to smuggle it in? The shield? Shield, huh? There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. I suppose it's supposed to mean that the guy is protecting something? I don't think it's supposed to have that deep of a meaning behind it. In that case, what are we wasting time with this for? Let's look at some other area. The sword, then. With this sword drawn like that, there is an aura of valor and bravery around King Primadux. He looks so cool standing like that with a sword stuck in the ground in front of him. Maybe I should try and come up with some cool pose with a shuriken or something. I'm seriously beginning to think that her real goal in life is to become a ninja. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, there isn't anything particularly odd about the sword, right? No, not really. I suppose we should examine a different area of the statue now. How about the head? The head looks like Steel Samurai, right? Or something. This kind of looks like Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look like that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador. I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret. Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction. What? Hurry up and open it, Miles. Alright, here goes. Dong dong dong. Wow, it really did open. Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. It's the printing thing. The money printer. The money stamper? I don't know. What in the... is this? Hey, is this what I think it is? It's a plate. I'm making counterfeit bills. Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Albus to begin with. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, look at him. He's holding it. I'm gonna kill the dude. The Primadux statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat. The replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue contained counterfeit plate from Shna, the ambassador had a misfortune of accidentally running into Damas II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damas II, and then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? You're the leader of the smuggling ring? The country is a mess, and it's all because of you. You're the one who killed the Master II. Answer us. Did they even ever explain this, the Master II's motive? I guess it's kind of like suggesting that the Master II was following the orders of Kochan, while Callisto Yu was following the order of the smuggling ring boss. So there were two things happening separately. I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there's one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Kochan. Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who tried to pass the guilt on to a dead man. There is one thing I'm sure of, is that you're the real ringleader, Quackus Alba. It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusions are anything but, and it's the result of the logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Miss Ford Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic and real weight, do you? Okay, I guess he was really dumb. Ha ha ha. It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me. You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old thing. Is he saving face now? From the very beginning, my real target has been you. Or Agent Lang, I demand an explanation. Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. Totally. You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around. So that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry investigative rights. Yeah, totally. If I haven't done that, I thought the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around. So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. Oh man, I don't know, this could be, can be seen another way, as in trying to save face. In exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth. Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening. I thank you. I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. Heh, the evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. It's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right? Ish, I don't know all about that. But one thing I know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Ho ho, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent Long, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity. Dignity? There is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some things you think of evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing. Really? I didn't even know that the counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue. You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. It doesn't make sense. Or does it not make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense? It's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. The proof that Interpol has been after which points to this man as the ringleader. We can somehow find the proof that now we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but the victory. And by any means necessary. The one way to bring someone like that to justice is to do so outside the courts. Those their voices are really saying similar. That's what we thought at the time. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. And I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed would I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, I will sully my hands in illegality. If I want to pursue justice, I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? Which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? The choice is one I must make my own hand. Here and now. I'll use the trump card, I guess. And lose. I'm a prosecutor, and I cannot allow myself to use evidence such as this. Mr. Ashworth, if you don't do something, Ambassador Alba is going to get away with it. Yeah, I know, but...
Objection!
What are you holding back for? The only thing a Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof. If you really do have what it takes to complete our arguments, then there is absolutely no reason not to use it. Yeah. Wang Zi says the reason people judge people is because people are people. People weren't born to be chained to the law. The laws were born to protect the people. You're the one here right now who can put this guy out to pasture. That is the only way a second or third generation of Zhengfa's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate knowing the fate of a nation rests in your hands? There's no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by men. A person goes beyond that limit. Then law, too, crosses into new territory. What reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba. I wonder if you might recognize this. Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG-8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu gave that to you. Don't talk nonsense, let's be serious, Mr. Edward. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader? I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given. What? This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident? The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what we will seal your fate. Oh, very interesting. I must admit, I'm very curious now. Very curious indeed. In this case, deciding pieces of evidence were presented. The prey that Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had free reign for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now it's the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me. I'll run over here instead. So, what is this interesting thing that you want to show me? The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG-8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is a section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. Sure, totally. As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand. I see that the killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. That card and what you have. Just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now? But there's a very easy way for me to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. Blood. This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in the terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG-8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building is an official Kodopian government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. Enhance! Smuggling ring and the Kodopia.
Take that!
The shape of its pocket and the director's card in it. It tells us that without a doubt, this person in this car is Mr. Cochin. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera. And with it, we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Okay. Ha! Power up! Damn. You've done well, boy, to make it this far. Or ever. About your claim that I was riding in the car at the time. It's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Cordobia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. Yeah, that arrogance. What he really means is he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something here that I can use against him. This thing here, he was just flashing. What the? Ambassador Alba. Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service of Cordopia. And it was you who made the many missions you participated in success, correct? Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cordopia. But now I'm the only one who owns this particular medal. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. Or do you figure it out? By the medal captured here in this footage, it's clearly the same exact medal as the one your chest. Okay. His face just broke. This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I've chosen. Now, a lot of people laugh in this one. You've moved me with your devotion in this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking possible, isn't it, for the lot of you to have gone this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well, I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Demaster second murder, I admit it, I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was just justified self-defense? The Master second attacked me, and then I felt my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, it might be the one you found dead instead of me. Instead of him. Ha 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 ha! What a pathetic performance. I'm not giving you one. Oh, you do really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. Okay. Oh man. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then you will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I will provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but there's a proof that it was in self-defense. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. The Master Second didn't have a single weapon on his body. Silence. Talk to the hand. Hold on. There's nothing to get worked up over. Of course, I hit the weapon. You hit it? I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder if it is in self-defense. I couldn't let it become public, seeing how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek. My special bonsai trimming shells. Oh, it's covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. That's when he grabbed the shields that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? Since he has both a wound and a weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare so. You know, he could injure himself. I don't know. It's a possibility. How can it be proved that he got stabbed? You know, unless there's a fingerprint on the weapon. No way! Oh, which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that my secretary is doing. I had no knowledge it was going on. Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to shove my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you. The murder of March 2nd was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive. Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there's one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? Oh no! I just noticed. That's what you mean. Extraterritoriality. That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Albertian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Albest. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate. That's our job. The judgment of our people who have confessed to their crime. That's the court's job. Ugh. And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective, even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I would never stand trial in one of your courts. That arrogance and your expression is nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. It doesn't apply if the murder didn't happen in the office. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations. It's no big deal. Albest has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would chase the backdrop of our little game. There's 2 layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now if you excuse me, I need to go fetch your eviction papers. Is there nothing we can do? Oh, we continue. Are we gonna... There's 2 more parts though, I believe. There's 2 more parts. Yeah. If I go on, I don't think I can do this in 1 hour, and I don't have 1 more hour. I don't have more than 1 hour. I think I have to end it here. So I'm sorry, anyone that's was hoping to see the end of it, but I have to end it here. Still, I hope you all enjoyed this session. It's been nice. There's a lot of laughing, laughing, weird screaming. I don't know. Yeah, it was also fun and stuff. But this, I'll have to stop a bit earlier, I guess. Normally, I would do like 3 more hour, an hour more or something. But if I did that, we probably wouldn't have much left to go through for the next session. So yeah. Anyways, anyone who watched the VOD, thank you for watching. If you like it, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I'll be back next time with the final session, final episode. Alright, bye bye, bye bye.